안녕하세요. 오늘 몇 분께서 제가 영어로 하는 영상을 보고 싶다고 하셨으니까 제가 오늘 영어로 영상을 한번 찍어보겠습니다. 오늘의 영상 내용은 제가 유럽에 살면서 제 한국인 지인들이 제가 한국으로 이사하겠다고 했을 때 되게 걱정했다고 하는 부분들과 제가 지금 한국에 3개월 동안 살면서 느꼈던 부분들을 비교를 한번 해보겠습니다. So there were a few topics that my colleagues and friends were quite concerned about, especially like living with my in-laws and also getting a job here in Korea. So I'll go into the first topic, which was the one people were most worried about, which was living with my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law. Because people have seen from like Korean dramas, Korean TV shows that Korean mother-in-laws don't have the best image, that they usually try to control their daughter-in-law's lives. And from some TV shows here, there's one specifically called 고부열전, which is about women usually from like Russia or Southeast Asia that don't speak much Korean, or sometimes they do, but when communicating with their mother-in-laws, there's a lot of like misunderstandings due to not being able to speak the same language or not being able to get like their thoughts and opinions out because of language issues. And so there's usually like a lot of fighting, a lot of like uncomfortableness. And so my friends thought it would be the same for me. But because I speak quite a lot of Korean as it is, like we have no misunderstandings. Even if there's something like I don't particularly understand, which is rare, I can just ask them. Like I can just say, I didn't understand, please explain this to me, like what is it? And my in-laws are great. Even my father-in-law said the other day, like he's so glad that I speak Korean because we don't have any misunderstandings, there's no issues, like we can just have like a laugh and a joke, we can get like our opinions out, we can talk, everything's great. And he accredits that because I can speak Korean, I guess I can say fluently. But yeah. And also with the mother-in-law thing, like Korean mother-in-laws don't have the best image because of these kind of TV shows too. Like that they usually try to control their daughter-in-law's lives and whatnot, or like force them to cook and take the role on of like a, I don't know, 1940s housewife, I guess. But my mother-in-law is the complete opposite of that. She doesn't want me to do anything that's like draining for me. She tries to cook most of the meals, but I love cooking and she loves like Western style or like English style breakfasts. So whenever I have the time, I cook her like English breakfast, like blueberry muffins, pancakes, etc. Like all the good things she loves. Because it's not so much happy wife, happy life, it's happy mother-in-law, happy life. Because she is in every way head of the household, but she is a great head of the household. And also from like these kind of TV shows we watch, most of the time people have a really bad relationship with their mother-in-law. And I have like far from that experience. Like they don't do anything together. Like the relationship is quite awkward and they try to like avoid their mother-in-laws. But me, like, I can't sing at all. My singing is terrible, but I love going to karaoke. And so my mother-in-law said to me last time, oh, let's go together. So I thought like we would sing maybe like 6 songs and go home, but it was so fun. We kept like recharging the machine and we ended up singing there for like 2 hours, which was great. And she even said after, like, it was such a blast. Let's go every week. Like, let's make this our little tradition. And also, when we moved to Korea, so it was the end of September. I guess you can call it Korean Thanksgiving. It's Chuseok. And so my father-in-law bought this like little game. It's where you throw these bats. It's called yunori. If it lands on high numbers, you essentially win. And so we coupled up. So like my in-laws together and me and my husband. And we bet money on it. And I think we got quite a lot of money, to be honest, because we kept winning. My father-in-law kept joking that I'm like a tacha, which is like an ace kind of in gambling. But I'd never played this game before, and so I'm guessing it was beginner's luck. But like, he kept making the joke that I was a tacha. But we always have a blast with them. I mean, wake up every morning like, good morning, like always really happy to see each other. And once my mother-in-law goes to work and I'm eating with my husband and my father-in-law, we're always like making dad jokes and laughing together. They're just the best people. So like, I get why my friends and colleagues were concerned, because obviously they have this image in their head of what living in a Korean house or like living with Korean in-laws is going to be like. But lucky for me, I think I've won the parent-in-law lotto because they're so amazing. Like, they're such great people. I love them so much. I love living together. Like everything is great. So like I get from their perspective why they were concerned because of the image they had, the things they've seen on TV. But from my reality anyway, it's so far from the truth, what I've experienced, and I'm so, so lucky and so grateful for them, honestly. So the next thing my friends were concerned about is me getting a job in Korea because the friends I had when I was living in Germany for 4 years, they all worked in Korean companies in Korea previously because they're Korean, but because they weren't living in Seoul, but all of the jobs are in Seoul, so they had quite long commutes, so like an hour, 2 hours one way. And when they got to work, like there was no work-life balance that we experience in Europe. And inside the company, you're pretty much forced to do night shifts. And by night shifts, I mean like work until early hours of the morning, maybe like really late at night if you're getting off quite early, I guess, for a night shift. But you're also not compensated for the night shift like you are in Europe. Like you don't have any overtime pay for that. And so my friends and colleagues, they were like, what the hell are you thinking going to Korea? Like if you see on the news, Koreans are not even getting, like young Koreans are not even getting jobs these days. Like that no one's hiring. There's like hiring freezes. People are not getting employed. Like pretty much every Korean is graduating from university, but there's no jobs for them. Like what do you expect your chances are going to be at getting a job in Korea? Like why are you thinking of going? Why not just stay in Europe? Because they all went through the experience with Korean companies to go to Europe. And even if they want to move back to Korea because like living here is so good, because of the job situation, they're staying in Europe. And so, yeah, they couldn't understand me at all. But for me, the industry I'm working in, there's a lot of remote opportunities I can get jobs in. So like Dubai, East Asia, the UK, America. And like English speaking roles at that too, where I just have to match the time zone. Like the hardest thing would just be matching the time zone, to be honest. Everything else, yeah, relatively fun and easy. I would be working from home. And so, to be honest, I haven't been really experiencing the hardships or the struggle of what they talked about because I also mentioned that to them as well. Like I'm trying to look for like exclusively remote roles because my industry is one that you can easily work from home in. Next point. This is not so much one that my colleagues or friends were concerned about, but my parents, because of the proximity to North Korea. Honestly, like North Korea are just above us. And when it comes out on the news that like everyone in Korea is terrified, but like the reality is that Korean people are used to him like threatening things. And even my husband says when it comes out on the TV that like he sent another nuke, it just means like he's hungry, send food. And so the reality is that Koreans are not really that scared about the threat of North Korea because like the fat dude's always threatening things. But obviously it is scary because the war never officially ended and is just a ceasefire. That's why there's a mandatory military service. Korea are prepared if anything happens. And regular Korean people don't seem concerned about this on the day-to-day. They're more concerned about their own lives, which aren't we all? So yeah, parents, you have nothing to worry about. Another thing I heard as well before moving here, which was not from like friends or family, like circling around the internet, is that it's quite difficult for foreigners living in Korea. But to be honest, I felt straight away that Korea was home for me. And I don't know if it was because I was already pretty fluent when I moved here, but just going out day to day, like I can do things on my own. I learned Korean from a young age. My husband is Korean, so we speak Korean in the household every single day. We used to speak like 50-50 English and Korean, but as I got better at Korean, we speak like 90%, maybe 100% Korean at home. And so I was already so comfortable with speaking Korean. When I go out, I can just do things for myself. If I need to go to the hospital or doctors, if I need to get like something from the pharmacy, go grocery shopping, whatnot, I can do it all on my own. So for me, I didn't really experience that issue because of the language, but because Korea is such a homogeneous society. And so if you only speak English or very, very little, like not enough Korean to actually be able to hold a conversation with people, I can imagine it would be very hard to live here. And also you wouldn't really get like a sense of the culture and be able to get close with anyone, because to get close with anyone, you need to be able to speak well in the same language as they do to be able to get to know like their interests and their personality, etc., etc. And also you learn culture through speaking to people and interacting with people from that country. And so it's difficult, But I assume also like if you're already learning Korean and then you come here, especially like if you date a Korean or if you have lots of Korean friends, it would be easier to pick up the language and better than if you were in your home country learning. It's my first video speaking fully English, so it was kind of a new one. But yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, if there's anything else you want me to speak about, just leave it in the comments below. Have a nice day. Bye.